I now call this meeting of the School Board of Independent School District 624 to order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Ellison?
Here.
Scar?
Here.
Strifoji?
Here.
Thompson?
Here.
Arcan?
Here.
Beloit?
Here.
Daniels here.
We ask everybody please stand and remove your hats as we do the Pledge of Allegiance. You go ahead. Go ahead, you can say it.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We have before us an agenda. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Olson moves. Guys, second.
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 Second, straight.
Strive OG. We're open for discussion. Mr. Scar.
I'd like to add a couple of items to the agenda for discussion. One is I'd like to video stream the public forum if we can. I know that we usually don't, but for this, we had a lot of speakers to do that. And also to expand the public forum to 45 minutes, give the speakers necessary time if we have more than 10. And I'd leave that up to the discretion of the chair.
Okay,
That's my motion.
so should we, can we tackle it in two different,
Two different.
and then for that motion, first, the motion would be to live stream the forum, public forum. Do we have a second? Do we have a second? Do we have a second? Okay, the motion does not move forward without a second, and since we're, we'll go on to the second one and add the time for 45 minutes?
Sure.
Is that what you wanted?
I thought you did both of them at the same time.
No, we did the first one, but I thought
Right.
if you want to do the second one to make sure.
Sure.
So the second motion in front of us is to make the board, the public forum 45 minutes. Do we have a second?
Point of clarification.
Yes.
Point of clarification, is that 45 minutes total for all speakers, or are you asking to allow one speaker 45 minutes?
No,
Total.
Total.
so we
I
can
just
have
wanted
up to 15 speakers instead of 10 at the discretion of the chair. So if we don't have more than 10, then we don't need it.
Okay. So the motion was made is to have 45 minutes total for the public forum. Do we have a second? Do we have a second? Do we have a second? Okay, the motion does not move forward. Mr. Scar.
The second motion I'd like, oh, sorry. Sorry about that. I guess since they both failed, it's a good thing that my microphone wasn't on. Given that we've got quite a few speakers, we've got a packed house, we've received many emails and letters regarding a certain subject, I'd like to make a motion to add a discussion item to our agenda, which is compliance with Executive Order 14201 related to Title IX. So we received a letter. I just want to give you the facts on this, so I'm going to read it from here. We received a letter from Representative Engen related to the district's policy to allow biological boys who identify as girls participate in girls' sports in violation of an executive order with respect to Title IX. He stated that we are one of 15 districts to adopt such a policy. Citing Minnesota Attorney General, the superintendent responded that we are in compliance with Minnesota laws and the district policy is to allow biological boys who identify as girls participate in girls' sports. Representative Curran sent a letter to the district in support of the district's policy. I'd like to include all three letters in the record for this meeting.
Okay.
Irrespective of the fairness of the policy to biological girls, or the reverse, I've got two concerns. First, not complying with an executive order has budget implications.
Okay, can I just stop you for a minute?
Right?
We don't have a motion on the table, and so we have a motion, we're not going to discuss that part? Is that the sense?
Yeah, I was just justifying why I made the motion.
We can make that if we get a second, and then we can talk about it, if that'd be okay.
Sure.
Okay, so the motion would be to add a discussion item. it was the executive order, I have to ask the number again.
Compliance with Executive Order 14201 related to Title IX.
Okay, so do we have a second to that motion? Do we have a second? Do we have a second? Hearing none, the motion fails.
So I would just like to make a comment that
Point
Nope.
of order.
Yes, ma'am.
Point of order. The motion failed, and so we need to move on to the next point
Thank
on
you,
the
ma'am.
agenda.
well, it'd be nice if the board had the courage to go on record on this matter.
All right, so we have before us an agenda, and we have a motion and a second. Is there any other further discussion on the agenda? All right, with this, there'll be a voice vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. We also have before us a consent agenda. This contains a variety of business items that come to us monthly, including donations. We are truly grateful for the support shown every month to our staff and students, so we want to thank you. I'm just going to say I noticed in there that on one of the donations was, very big, and so we want to make sure that we thank everybody. But I won't go on until we get something in front of us. So can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Okay, Daniels, is that a second?
Second.
Second by Thompson. Any further discussion? Oh. Okay, this will be a roll call vote. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Ellison.
Aye.
Scar. Strifology.
Aye.
Thompson.
Aye.
Arcan.
Aye.
Beloit.
Aye.
Daniels, aye.
Okay, we now have the consent agenda approved. We now move on to the public forum. It's now time for the public forum portion of the meeting. We had 4 requests tonight. The public forum allows 3 minutes per speaker with 1 minute remaining. An orange card will be shown. And then at 30 seconds, the yellow card will be shown. And then when the 3 minutes are up, the gavel will strike, and then you will end what you're saying. If you don't have enough time, we will always take it in writing too. I mean, if you feel like there's more I want to say, you may always submit something in writing to us. Speakers will be called up to the microphone and recognized one at a time. Only those individuals who have been recognized will be allowed to speak. School district policy and data privacy laws preclude personal and student matters or data being discussed publicly. We like to hear from the public, so thank you for coming in. We are now going to move on to informational item C1, student recognition. Dr. K.
All right, thank you, Chair Arcan, members of the board. Tonight, we proudly celebrate the achievements of our students who represented the district at the state level in boys swim and dive, the one-act play, girls basketball, and boys hockey. Congratulations to each and every one of you. We also extend our sincere gratitude to the dedicated staff and supportive family members who played a vital role in these successes. In recognition of their accomplishments, students have received a certificate and bear pin, and a letter acknowledging their achievements was sent home to their families. Now, please join us in watching a video highlighting their accomplishments. Go Bears!
Congratulations to all those. Great job. We're going to move on to informational items C2, Superintendent's Report. Dr. Kazmierczak.
All right, thank you, Chair Arcan, members of the board. Tickets are now on sale for the middle school musical Beetlejuice Junior. Shows are on April 24th, 25th, and 26th at Central Middle School Auditorium with both evening and matinee opportunities. Purchase tickets online at the news posts that can be found on the district and school websites. Willow Lane fifth graders have been learning valuable career skills by working with members of the community on cover letters and resumes, as well as interview preparation. They're getting ready for their Donatelli's Takeover, where they will experience working as cooks, servers, and hosts every Tuesday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. from March 29th through May 20th. I plan to support them at least one of those Tuesdays, and I encourage you all to do the same. Community members are invited to join me and other district leaders for coffee and conversation at the last Coffee with Dr. K of the school year. We will be at Caribou Coffee in downtown White Bear Lake from 7:30 to 8:30 a.m. on Tuesday, May 6th. This is an opportunity to ask questions, share ideas, or just enjoy a good cup of coffee together. All right, the Minnesota State Transportation Center of Excellence has recognized the White Bear Lake Area High School Automotive Career Pathway and teacher Derek Descher with the Exemplary Secondary Program of the Year Award for 2025. This award showcases secondary level transportation programs that serve as exemplary models of institutional support, instructional leadership, and program-wide excellence. Key factors contributing to this honor include the strong community partnerships Derek has cultivated with local automotive businesses, post-secondary institutions, and industry organizations, as well as the program's collaboration with the Ford Automotive Student Service Educational Training Program. Congratulations to Derek and all those who contribute to our automotive career pathway. And finally, now it is my pleasure to welcome Erica Florzak, special education teacher at Otter Lake Elementary, to recognize her recent achievement of National Board Certification. This rigorous process of certification involves a teacher demonstrating standards-based evidence of their positive effect on student learning, providing evidence of ongoing reflection and continuous learning, and more. She is now one of only 241 teachers in Minnesota with an active certification. So a warm congratulations to Erica on her certification as an exceptional needs specialist, early childhood through young adulthood. On behalf of the school board, it's an honor to present you with this certificate and bear pin. I'll join you in just a second. I would also like to invite Deb Schmidt and Deb Tebow, two of our other White Bear Lake National Board certified teachers, to present a small gift.
Maybe tomorrow when Scott gets there.
Set up in the front and there we go.
Stand back.
You want us in back or?
Will we fit? I don't know, Marissa, what
I think you will. Yeah, if you do some on this side, some on the other side. Yep, plenty of space. Yeah, fits pretty well.
Trying to hide my scooter.
All right, everyone, look here, make sure your chin can see me as well. And then we're actually, do you want it? Yeah, nice. And then I'm gonna do this as well. Oh, maybe, sorry. Well, we'll just eyeball it. Well, I didn't do too bad. Thank you.
I must be getting out with this out of the way. Thank you. Okay. I finally made it back down. Before we move on, I just want to make sure, do we have any questions for Dr. Kazmierczak on the student recognition of the superintendent's report? All right, so we're gonna move along. We're gonna move on to discussion item D1. It's the first reading of school policies 413, 512, 706, 710, 711, and 712. So we have a routine of always looking at our policies, updating them. And normally what happens is we bring them to the first meeting, and as just a discussion item, these will come back and at the next meeting, the next full meeting, for a vote to approve the changes on, it'll be on May 12th, or for that agenda that will come back. And so you normally will have do you have any questions looking at these, on these policies?
Yes?
Yes, Mr. Scar?
Is this all the policies?
Yeah, if you want to look at one,
512.
512, can you tell me what page you're looking at? The big page?
69. So, under the general statement of policy, we remove the sentence, "The school district may exercise editorial control over the style and content of student expression in school-sponsored publications and activities." So I'm wondering why that was removed.
Anybody from the policy committee?
Yeah, I don't know, Matt, is this related to the statutory changes that were made?
On page 68.
Yeah, I believe so, yeah. That was a statutory change.
Which statute? Do you have it?
It's like on that 121.80 at the bottom.
Mhm.
Does anyone have that? Did you find it?
Yeah, I think it's the one
Was
noted
this
at
a
the bottom.
was this required, or was this optional?
The language that is being struck is consistent with the
No,
new
what I'm
state
saying
law.
is striking it, was that mandatory, or was that optional at our option?
Well, we generally try to align with state statute policies.
So it was
So-
mandatory.
Excuse me, we can't hear back here. Could you speak?
Your mics, please.
Sure. I'm not sure you want to listen to it, but, so it's mandatory. It's mandatory, not optional. It's not like you may do this. You
Yeah,
have to do it.
again, I would have to look at the exact wording from the statute, but my understanding is that this is what, one of the changes that was made.
I would like
Yes.
that validated.
Okay, so we'll get something on that for you. Other questions?
Are any of us free to just go look up the statutes that are cited at the bottom?
Yes,
Okay, so the information is there.
yes. So. Any other questions? Well, hearing none, know that these will come back for approval on May 12th. And in the meantime, we'll get that information you've requested. All right, we're going to move on to operational item E1, action on bid for the White Bear Lake Area High School roof replacement project. Mr. Wald, welcome.
Good evening, Chair Arcan, members of the board, Dr. Kazmierczak. E1 is regarding the replacement, bid tabulation for the replacement of a portion of the roof at White Bear Lake Area High School. This is the southernmost of the three circles of the original construction, and so it's a portion of that circle. That project is included in our 10-year long-term facilities maintenance plan, which is our list of deferred maintenance projects that we intend to tackle over the next 10 years. We advertised for bids in our official newspaper, the White Bear Press, in March. Vendors were encouraged to submit both a bid for summer of 2025 construction and summer of 2026 construction. We had no bidders for the summer of 2025, and we had 4 bidders for the summer of 2026. Bids were opened on April 4th, 2025. After reviewing the bids with our roofing construction manager, that's RSI, I think in the agenda, it says SRI, that's a typo, should be RSI Roof Spec Incorporated. They recommended that we award the bid to the low bidder, Peterson Brothers, with a bid of $353,400. Peterson Brothers has worked on many of our projects over the years. Generally know our facilities pretty well. We've been very happy with their work. They don't win all the projects, they win some of them. The highest bid for this project was $483,400, and really the next two above Peterson were very close, within just a few $1,000s. So the recommendation is for the board to accept the overall bid for the White Bear Lake Area High School roof replacement project as presented to Peterson Brothers in the amount of $353,400.
Okay, so we have a recommendation in front of us to accept the overall bid for $353,400. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Okay, Ellison, and a second?
Second.
Second by Beloit. Oh, a discussion, any questions?
I have a question.
Yes, Mr. Scar?
Is this part of the Kraus Anderson scope of work integrated into their project? Because I know we had the 327 million, or 326 million, and then we had LTFM integrated in, so it was nearly 400 million. Is that part of that project?
It is not. This is part of our long-term facilities maintenance plan, so it's not included in that work. Kraus Anderson wouldn't be involved in that, in this project.
So what was the LTFM that was included in Kraus Anderson's scope, which was the 326 plus the LTFM, which came up to, was it around rough numbers, 396 million, something
Yeah.
like that?
Yeah, about 75 million.
So why wasn't this included? Was it an oversight or just
No.
not part of the schedule? at the
We have
time?
projects within the scope of work. Part of the LTFM plan with the bond projects were that there were, as we went into buildings, there were projects that made sense that we could go and use the LTFM funding for that. And so as we went into buildings and were taking things apart, it made sense to do some of that deferred maintenance at that time. This is a project that could potentially fit in there. We have ongoing LTFM needs, and so this is just a matter of plugging in where, where there's timelines on when that money needs to be spent, so it's plugging it in when it's the right time to do it.
Okay, thank you.
Can I
Yes,
ask
other
a
questions?
question?
Go ahead.
Just LTFM, that money is some state funding, right? Some of that money comes from the state? We do a 10-year plan? and-
Yeah, most of our LTFM is really, some of it is bonds that can be passed, approved by the school board.
Mhm.
And so that was part of the bond project. That wasn't a voter-approved bond because the school board can sell LTFM bonds. We also, within our levy, have LTFM that's levied on an annual basis to pay for ongoing maintenance.
Yeah, not all states have it, but we do, yeah.
Yeah, not all school districts, depending on the size and the time at which they qualified for different funding for deferred maintenance, have some different rules. In
Yeah.
White Bear Lake, we were, one of the school districts that qualified for, to be able to levy for, for deferred maintenance as we go on.
Right, because of the age, basically the age of our buildings is a big part of it.
Correct.
Right.
Square footage and age of buildings, it was part of the calculation that for which we qualified. What was that funding called before that? It was, before it was LTFM, it had a different name, and I just don't recall what it was, too.
Yeah, deferred maintenance
Yeah.
was a broader program.
Alternative facilities
Alt
funding, I think
facilities
is what,
funding.
yeah, alt facilities funding, yeah.
Thank you.
Ms. Beloit?
For the LTF bonds, what's the amount that the board can approve up to?
That's a good question. I don't know, is there a limit on what the board can approve on LTFM? I guess I'm not sure.
Like when we issue bonds for LTFM,
Without having to go to.
it just matches our LTFM plan that we present annually. There isn't a technically there isn't a limit. We work in our annual budget.
And we do a 10-year plan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
every year we approve a 10-year plan.
Right.
And all of that is factored into tax impact, so, it's something that the board has been, conscious of throughout the planning process is what that tax impact is and not going above a stated tax impact.
Other questions? Well, you know the question I'm gonna ask. Did the bid come in about where you expected?
It did, so the 25 versus the 26 was a consideration because construction has an inflationary rate. Projects never go down in
Yes.
price, and so the bid that we received at just under $37 a square foot is about what we were expecting for this year, so we're pleased that that it came in where it came in and felt like this was a good time to lock in for
Yes.
next summer's project.
Yes, Ms. Beloy.
So if that's locked in now, I mean, with prices going up and down and here and there, that's an
Yeah.
actual locked-in number for this contract?
It is, if the board approves it. Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions? All right. We have before us a motion to accept the overall bid for the White Bear Lake Area High School roof replacement projected as presented to Peterson Brothers in the amount of $353,400. This will be a roll call vote, so I'll ask the clerk to call the roll.
Ellison?
Aye.
Scar?
Aye.
Strifology?
Aye.
Thompson?
Aye.
Arcan?
Aye.
Beloit?
Aye.
Daniels, aye.
Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now we're going to move on to operational item E2, action on the resolution proposing placement of continuing contract teachers on unrequested leave of absence. Mr. Mons.
So this year, earlier in the spring, we brought forward a resolution allowing us to take this action, not through budget reduction, but through changes in programming. We did end up having to place teachers on unrequested leave of absence, and so we are asking for board approval this evening.
Okay, so you've heard the action as you approve the resolution proposing placement of continuing contract teachers on unrequested leave of absence. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Okay, Ellison, do we have a second?
Second?
Second by Daniels. Any discussion? Yes, Ms. Beloit.
Do you have a number of teachers?
One.
One, okay.
Yep.
If, I have a question.
Go ahead, yes.
Yeah, if things change, programs change over the summer, the teachers are called back, correct? So,
Absolutely. Yep.
So-
So there's a period of time that extends to years, as long as they're renewing interest in remaining on unrequested leave with the district, in which they're always the first call whenever there would be an appropriate opening within any of the areas of their licensure.
Yes. Ms. Strifoggi.
Do teachers placed on unrequested leave that are not working, are they able to go to work elsewhere?
Yes, absolutely.
Any final questions? Okay, we have the motion in front of us to accept, motion in front of us to, proposing the placement of a continuing contract teacher on unrequested leave of absence. This will be a voice vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Thank you, the motion carries.
Thank you.
We are now going to move on to operational item E3, action on the resolution for acceptance of the classroom grants. Dr. Kazmicek.
All right, thank you, Chair Arcan, and members of the board. So the White Bear Lake Area Educational Foundation has forwarded 13 GLASROOT grants to me with a request that these grants be formally accepted by the school board. As part of their internal process, prior to consideration of any proposal, the foundation reviews the proposals with our administration for confirmation that the grant proposals are consistent with our curriculum and if technology is used consistent with our technology plan. So the recommended action is to accept the following resolution that's in the packet. for 13 Glazard grants from the White Bear Lake Area Educational Foundation, presented in the amount of $28,184.67.
Okay, you've all heard the recommendation. Do we have a motion?
I'd like to make the motion.
A motion by Mr. Scar. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Beloit. Any further discussion? Yes, Ms. Ellison.
I just have a comment. As someone who has worked in teacher education for 20 years, these types of experiences for teachers are so transformative and allow them to take this hands-on experiential learning right to their classroom. And so the fact that the foundation is able to support programs like this for our teachers, the students are going to benefit tremendously. I mean, there's so much research that shows how much teachers benefit from this type of experience. So I just want to say thank you to the foundation for always being so supportive of our teachers and allowing them to have these experiences. So.
All right, Mr. Scar.
I would just like to say, as a member of the as a board member of the foundation, that they work really hard, do a good job. They have a strategic vision on what's best for the community, and we're working through a revision to kind of the strategic plan to be better well-known or more well-known in the community, which I think is important.
Thank you. Anybody else? Oh, go ahead, Ms. Beloit, sorry.
So I know that these grants, the proposals need to get in early, so any teachers out there that are thinking about maybe applying for one of these, put together your proposal now, sooner than later.
Yep. All right, and thank you for these grants. We have in front of us a resolution to accept these grants. This will be a roll call vote, so I'll ask the clerk to call the roll.
Ellison?
Aye.
Scar?
Aye.
Strifology?
Aye.
Thompson?
Aye.
Arcan?
Aye,
Beloit?
Aye.
Daniels? Aye.
and the motion carries. Thank you. We're moving on now to operational item E4, action on school board policies 420, 427, 508, 533, 701, and 704. These came to the board for the first reading in March. Now, we take those usually a lump and we approve them together. Can I get a motion to approve the policies?
So moved.
So moved by Thompson. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by Strifology. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, this will be a voice vote. All in favor of accepting policy 420, 427, 508, 533, 701, and 704, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign? Okay, the motion carries. Now, I gotta look at my agenda. Do we want to do, I'm looking at the one I've got. The board forum first, and then the negotiation?
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're gonna go to board forum. It's now time for the board. If there are any board members who would like to share activities they've been doing? District communities? Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
I had the opportunity to go through the technical school, 916, and as a tour with some other board members from intermediate 916 school district. And I just want to say there's so many great opportunities for our community and our students at the 916 Tech School. So I was so impressed with all the programs they have and the opportunities. So that was really great. And then I also was, well, actually, Ange and I, and maybe you were going to talk about going to the consortium for state school board members in Atlanta. And I just have to say we went to lots of pull-out or, separate sessions. And I have to say, I'm just so proud to be from Minnesota and from White Bear Lake School District and the work we're doing in our state and in our community. There were people from all over the country and presenting things and lots of discussion. And we just have a really strong educational, everything about Minnesota and White Bear Lake. I just was super proud. So I just have to say that in comparing and talking to other people from all over the country. So thank you for the opportunity to attend the conference.
Okay, thank you. We're gonna go to Ms. Beloit, and then I'll go to you, Mr. Scar.
I just wanted to comment on our White Bear Lake Archery program. Apparently, this year, people were very impressed with the facility because this next year, White Bear Lake is going to be hosting the regional tournament. So it's a pretty big honor. It's going to be lots of work, so if there's anybody out there that would like to volunteer, go talk to your archery folks, and Brian Peliquin can also steer you to committees and everywhere else where you can get involved.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Scar?
Well, I just wanted to say, you know, I was 0 for 2 of adding things to the agenda. I kind of feel like McElroy before he won the Masters yesterday. So, but anyways, I wanted to say that, you know, part of being a bear is being authentic and having courage and taking a stand. The other thing I wanted to mention was compliance with the free lunch program. Apparently, we still need to complete, or low-income families still have to complete applications. Is that right? So we're in compliance with that, because there was something on CARE TV that many school districts are not in compliance because they're not requiring the applications.
Yeah, it would be a longer agenda item probably, but it's,
Well, we can put
whether
it
or not
on
we.
for later.
Yeah, whether or not it gets down to, the biggest issue for school districts currently is the compensatory funding that's tied to the free and reduced count. And some of that's based on what folks turn in. So it's a real challenge that's being discussed at the legislature. So I'm guessing that's what the story was about?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, Ms. Ellison?
I just want to invite everyone to attend the Bandorama tomorrow night at Aldrich Arena. We did it last year for the first time. All of the band students in the district come together and they play by grade, and it was so much fun. And so I highly recommend. We have such an excellent music program here in this district, and it was a fantastic opportunity to support our kids. And then I just wanted to echo what Ms. Daniels said. I've gone to several conferences as a school board member in the past number of years, and it's really eye-opening to talk to people from different places. Deb and I went to one in Philadelphia a number of years ago, and we are really fortunate here to be in a school district that supports all of our kids. So I appreciate the work of the teachers, the staff, the paraprofessionals, and the district office to make that happen for our kiddos. So, thank you.
Yes, Ms. Thompson?
Okay, just a couple of things I wanted to highlight that are coming up. The Rotary Youth Club is still looking for 2 families to host international exchange students for the coming school year. You could reach out to Mr. Wald for more information if you're interested in being able to do that. Also, just find it really fantastic that we have a program called Week Without Walls, where kids in the district go during spring break on different adventures across the world, different countries, wherever have been chosen. And next year we have 2 fantastic choices. 2 groups of students will be able to go to Italy or Peru. If you're looking for more information on that, I am not sure exactly who to direct you to, so I'm gonna just say the district offices. Wayne could probably help figure that out. They only allow 15 students per group to go, so it is something that is limited. So if you're interested, I would get information now. There is a cost associated with that, so you would have to be able to afford it as well. For students who maybe are low income, there are opportunities for grants and other ways to go, so please reach out for more information. I just discovered this tonight and I'm super excited. I haven't had a chance to look at my calendar, but we have an upcoming event on Monday, May 5th from 7 to 8:30 in the High School Performing Arts Center called A Day of Hope, and it's a White Bear Lake Students Shine, an inclusive music event. So it says it'll highlight unique performances from students with and without special needs, sharing their musical talents and personal stories, and it will be an all-inclusive multi-sensory experience. So a great event for families who are looking for something to do with students who might need to have some sensory concerns. They will make sure that those students have a great experience at the event. Next week is Administration Professionals Appreciation Week. As a former administrator, person who ran offices, I know how much our district depends on those staff, including our very own Mrs. Markinson. We appreciate all they do for our district, and we would not be able to get through a day without them all. So I really appreciate that as well. And then just wanted to end on a note from something that we overheard from a young man who presented in Atlanta. His name was, just forgot, Brendan. I can't remember his last name, darn it. But he was a young man who himself had he has one of the rarest forms of dwarfism, and he had some challenges in school, as you can imagine, and his story was wonderful to listen to, and how he was supported in his school, and his support person ended up being a school librarian. And so we know how important our librarians are as well in our school district, as well as all of our staff. But one of the things that he highlighted in his presentation that really stood out to me, and I haven't been able to forget it, is that diversity is not a choice, but inclusion is. And I will always choose to include all of our students, no matter what.
All right, thank you. That's hard to follow.
Maybe stop the clapping. Can't have it.
Thank you. I'm just going to wrap this up by saying thank you for all of you for coming tonight. It's always nice to see a full boardroom during our meetings. You're always welcome, and we like to have you here. So thank you, everybody, for showing up. We're moving on, and we're going to go on to labor negotiations, which will be a closed session. So what will happen is we'll go through the formality. We'll go to a closed session, and then we'll come back out and basically adjourn the meeting. So that's what's going to happen. So the portion of this labor negotiations meeting will be closed to consider strategies for labor negotiations, including negotiation strategies or development or discussion and review of labor negotiation proposals conducted pursuant to Minnesota Statute 179A.01 to 179A.25. So do we need to have a vote, or do you just adjourn?
We need a motion.
Okay, that's what I want to say. So can I get a motion to go to closed session?
So moved.
Thompson, do we have a second?
Second.
By Beloit. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, we're going to closed session.